invite Preeti. Miss Preeti is, who she is. So my question to you, Preeti, directly would be books and AI. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to find a strike a balance, the perfect partnership. I believe they are in the learning journey, but however much I believe, I know we keep the books here and AI there. So help me understand, how do we take this forward, and what are your thoughts in it?
Great. Thanks very much, Meenakshi, and thank you, One, for having me here. And congratulations to Deep Pedagogic for such an impactful decade and many more to come. The question that you've put for me is extremely interesting. And, while we are all evolving, finding answers to these, I think I will take the lens of AI in education, really. And within education, we know books do play a key role, but there is so much more that comes along when we are trying to see that how we can use the tools and technology of today to ensure that we can make the impact in our classrooms. So I don't have to really emphasize the significance of AI in education is increasingly evident and on a global scale. So which brings in a level of homogeneity in terms of what our expectations from this is. And no doubt, it is expected to be one of the strongest forces with a transformative potential to improve learning outcomes and equip students with the digital and critical skills that we need for the future. And all of us here at Educators are working in this space. We want to see the role of AI develop further, and so much has been talked upon on that. I'll bring our focus to the Meenakshi, you mentioned about frameworks earlier. Frameworks extremely important, and they're the ones who are guiding us to develop the competencies that we need, referring back to, say, the UNESCO AI competency framework. So, which very clearly talks about there's a competency framework for teachers, there is one for students in the school. So, the one for teachers is defining the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that we need our teachers should possess to understand the role of AI in education and utilize this in their teaching practices. Now, that comes in multiple ways, and we'll just talk about it as we go along. And then there is the role of the student. The student needs to be equipped with the knowledge, skills, and attitude which they acquire in the classroom and to understand and actively engage with AI in a safe and a meaningful manner in education and beyond. So these kind of frameworks are guiding how the curriculum development and teacher training is really evolving, and which is the focus for us when we start working using AI to bring AI in the classroom and equip our teachers and students by means of tools that they can use. So which are, when I look at education systems, so which are the significant areas where AI can make that impact? So one is personalized learning. And honestly, I'll tell you, I started my career 25 years back in EdTech, and the promise of EdTech was personalized learning. I would say we are much closer now with AI being there. And there's a very interesting video of Sal Khan and his son where he checks that, give me a nudge on the topic. So when you're talking personalized learning, it could be explain me this, it could be give me a nudge on this, assess me on this, identify my learning gaps. So it can throw out content in a manner. Now, the content which we already used to say have in our textbooks, it can get repackaged in a manner to build these knowledge maps and identify learning gaps for students themselves to assess themselves. And then there is adapting learning to their individual needs. Another key area where the impact is really coming through is it supports 21st century curriculum that focus on skill development, workforce readiness, while maintaining the content knowledge that we want our students to have. So at any point in time, these personalized learning maps can bring in the skills aspect, can bring in the practical aspects of employing them, say when you are in a workforce or in particular conditions. And the augmented teaching by, we all want to make our tasks easier and teachers can focus more on the student, automating tasks, generating the content, orchestrating our classroom instructions at all. So finally, AI can transform assessment, which extremely is important by providing real-time feedback and implementing this adaptive testing that we've been speaking about for a very long time in the edtech worlds. And with this, there is a nuanced evaluation of student knowledge and skills. So we're seeing evidence of this coming through and how this can be used in the classroom. And now I'll come focus, bring the lens back to the teacher. With the teacher, uh, teaching with AI is focusing on practical integration, where AI is the tool, where it's supporting the teacher for this assessment, administrative tasks, it's supporting enhancing student learning through personalized guides and feedback. But teaching about AI is slightly different. It's more about your core computer science, your data science principles, how it can be cross-disciplinary, the connections across math, science, social studies, arts we've been talking about, and then critical examinations of AI societal impact and the ethical implications. So there's benefit, there is content differentiation that's coming in, there's assessment design that's coming, tutoring and personalized assistance, very much doable, aiding creativity, collaboration skills and development, and overall school management and efficiency. But like everything, there's that flip side. So we have to manage how we are using it in our classrooms to minimize misinformation, give still diminishing, there could be student and teacher agency and accountability that can go down. There's compromised privacy, which we all know, and over reliance. When there's over reliance on a tool, there could be loss of critical thinking. So these are things that we are completely focused on in terms of building the tools for the teacher and the student. And I'll take an example here. We talk about bots all the time, and these bots are, which is actually bridging the gap when you call about in classroom learning and textbooks being one part of that. So these bots really, when we speak with our teachers, and here I'm taking an example of how Cambridge is speaking with teachers. So teachers want lesson planning tools that are grounded in official teaching approaches, terminologies, and learning content. So it just doesn't has to be from anywhere, because the efficacy of things is always a doubt. The broad paradigm here is about what is official, and because ultimately these students will go through a certain examination system, and they feel that they want something that they can trust the output of. So there's multiple chatbots available, but can they be put in context? The priority for teachers is also getting a list of resources. So teachers get into a classroom. I've seen chatbots which are currently being used in the Cambridge context, where teacher writes in, I am today going to teach business organization. The answer throws up the objectives and the teachers, and it asks which one will you like to cover? And then the teacher says, all of them. The chatbot will ask, okay, how much time do you have? Teacher says 45 minutes. And then it gives packages in context in terms of the worksheets that can be used, which the teacher earlier was using sometimes in the textbooks, the videos that the teacher can use, which can be from other places. And then there is that lesson plan that the teacher literally can take to her classroom. And then there's strong demand for these kind of past papers, questions, exam style content integration, which can also be brought in by these chatbots. So what teachers really are valuing is differentiation suggestions, scaffolding for weaker students, extension of activities for more capable students. And this is what is, I would say, the driving force when we look at how to take that AI into the classroom in the most reliable manner where we are today. Of course, it's a wait and watch. It's all evolving and we are all part of it. So from that perspective, I would say there's a lot of research that's happening around efficacy of AI tutors. When there is more confidence, we'll see more of that playing in the classroom. Chatbots, a very interesting field. I'm seeing teachers really benefiting from that. And while we spoke of frameworks when we started, there is also, I know from Cambridge, there is an getting started with AI, something that's going to be out somewhere in February. So that's something teachers have been looking forward to. If there are teachers who are already part of this curriculum would know about. But broadly, it is amazing to see how confident we all are feeling about this, the transformative potential that AI could bring along. Of course, we have to be watchful in what the downsides are and how much of that we allow to be played inside our schools. So governance policies will play a very key role at all levels, I would say, from the government level to the school level, where we need to understand and keep changing it as time goes by and as the technology keeps evolving. So interesting times for all of us, and very good time for us to have this discussion now. I'm sure the way technology is moving, we could catch up again in another 6 to 8 months and start seeing where are we now.
Yes, absolutely. I think with the ever-evolving world around us, it's only imperative that we catch up on these things very quickly and too often to actually discuss this. So thank you, Preeti. That's a great perspective, bringing in the books and the AI together.